Good afternoon and welcome to the Midday News. We apologize for the late start, which was due to some technical challenges. A special welcome if you're watching on onespotmedia.com. A reminder as well that you can download our One Spot Media app in the Google Play Store or the App Store. That's the number 1, followed by the word Spot and Media. With the Zones of Special Operations Bill set to be implemented in a matter of days, more opinions are being expressed that the public is not fully aware of the implications of the new law. The concern arose following a report from our news centre on Tuesday which indicated that several members of the public had no knowledge of how far-reaching the law will be. Speaking yesterday on Beyond the Headlines, Public Defender Arlene Harrison-Henry says the public education needs to be circulated so that citizens can know what is supposed to be taking place and persons are aware of their rights.
There is need for broad education to make people know in detail what can happen in these zones. So, for example, how is a search conducted? Whether of a home, a car, an individual, a dresser in a house? What are the principles by which these powers can be exercised? Because I will say that they are indeed awesome powers. And what it is that we need to do to make sure that we don't have small civil gardens all over Jamaica.
The legislation will, among other things, allow the Prime Minister to declare a volatile area a zone for special operations. This will allow the security forces to search places, vehicles or persons without a warrant. And the Public Defender has highlighted the need for general human rights education going forward.
The community is going to be immune. So it is not only the police and soldiers who need the human rights education. Because if we recall well, the evidence at the Commission of Inquiry, that is the West Kingston Commission of Inquiry, each police officer had in his top pocket a human rights booklet on the use of force policy, the right to life, and so on. And we saw the outcome. We are saying that that is not enough. They need to continue to have that education.
One of Western Jamaica's most wanted was nabbed by police in Brownstone, St. Anne this morning. Omar Greaves, otherwise known as Greedy Man of Hanover, was detained during a joint police operation by officers from Trelawney and St. Anne. Reports indicate that Mr. Greaves was spotted about 8:45 at a business place in the town. He ran when he was approached by officers. A chase ensued. Mr. Greaves was later held in Standfast District. Mr. Greaves is wanted by the Trelawney, Hanover and St. Anne police for various crimes ranging from shooting, robbery and murder. Cases at the St. Thomas Circuit Court in Morant Bay have been suspended due to the malfunctioning of an air conditioning unit in the main courtroom. The presiding judge, Mrs. Sonia Wint Blair, suspended the sitting during the hearing of a case which is happening today. The court has been operating with the malfunctioning AC since the circuit started on Monday. The case will remain put off until the unit is repaired. A woman is now in custody of the police in Whithorn after allegedly stabbing her daughter-in-law to death in Amity, Westmoreland on Tuesday. According to police reports, about 3 p.m., Monique Comrie went to a house in the community saying that she had killed someone. The occupant of the house allegedly immediately contacted the police. When the police arrived on the scene, 21-year-old Debbie Ann Morris was found in a pool of blood with multiple stab wounds to her face. Miss Morris's 2-month-old baby, who was present when the incident occurred, was unharmed. Miss Comrie is believed to be of unsound mind. A man is now in police custody after a 14-year-old teen was found in a gully suffering from chop wounds to the head in Portland. This following a series of events at the start of the week where the teen's house in Snow Hill was broken into several times and items stolen. In confirming the incident, commanding officer in charge of the Portland Police, Deputy Superintendent Rex Swearing, said that the teen's house was reportedly broken into on Monday afternoon and several valuables taken. The teen was, however, reported missing and a search was launched. DSP Spearing said that on Tuesday morning, residents found the teen in a nearby gully and had to rescue him. He was found with a chop wound to the head and taken to the Port Antonio Hospital, where he was admitted in a critical condition. The Constant Spring Police have launched an investigation into last night's special shooting of a taxi operator on Lindsay Crescent in St. Andrew. He has been identified as 57-year-old Steve Jeffrey of Mannings Hill in St. Andrew. Shortly after 9 o'clock, residents heard explosions and alerted the police. Mr. Jeffrey was found suffering from bullet wounds. He was pronounced dead at hospital. The government has a stake in the South Jamaica Power Plant Company SJPC, which will build a power plant in Old Harbour, St. Catherine. Finance Minister Audley Shaw told Parliament that the SJPC is owned by the Jamaica Public Service Company, Marubeni Corporation, Korea East West Power and the Government of Jamaica through the Petro-Carib Initiative.
SJPC will be constructing a 192.6 megawatt combined cycle power plant, which is expected to replace 292 megawatts of heavy fuel oil power stations in the areas of Old Harbour and Hunts Bay. Construction of the facility is scheduled for 2 years. And I should indicate that the groundbreaking has already taken place.
The Bank of Jamaica has confirmed an ease in the shortage of coins. Governor Brian Winter says since last month there has been adequate supply of $10 coins in circulation. Mr. Winter says the central bank is now focused on easing the shortage of $20 coins.
We have taken action to bring forward supplies of coins so that we had normalized the supply, and we have essentially got there. Maybe a little issues with the $20, but we are putting those out now. We've arranged with different institutions and entities to substitute. So where we had enough 10 but not enough 20, we would arrange that. That has happened, and by the end of this month, we should be pretty much normalized, and during August, 100% normalized in terms of supply. And then the coin collection drive, which will steadily deal with the issue of redemptions, we will discuss with you more and share how that goes as we go forward.
He added that persons are still hoarding millions of coins. The shortage of coins resulted in the operators of the north-south leg of the highway adjusting toll rates. Executive Director of the National Family Planning Board, Dr. Denise Chavan, says family planning is closely aligned to the achievement of the country's sustainable development goals. She was speaking at the World Population Day ceremony on Tuesday at the St. Matthew's Anglican Church Hall in St. Elizabeth. Planning is also a factor that can contribute to reducing poverty.
When women have too many children, too closely spaced, those children are likely to live in poverty, they're likely to be hungry, it's likelihood of not having quality education. All of those are likely to be some of the outcomes. So you can see that family planning is closely aligned to sustainable development.
She stated that women who space their births are healthier and have healthier children, as births too close together can lead to complications and child mortality. On that note, obstetrician and gynecologist Dr. Glenmere Matthews highlighted the different contraceptive methods and the impact of unintended pregnancies on the nation.
So some of our contraception options include condoms, diaphragms, oral contraceptive pills, injectable contraceptives, progestin implants like the Jadel that we use here in Jamaica, and the copper IUD. Unintended pregnancy rate in 1995 was 71. In 2008 is 58. So that goes to show that we're making some progress within the developing world for contraceptive methods and unintended pregnancy rate.
The Bustamante Hospital for Children yesterday received much needed medical equipment through the Shaggy and Friends Make a Difference Foundation. The equipment is the first of a two-part handover of equipment, of furniture, parts and accessories with a combined value of more than $529,000 US. Speaking at the presentation, the Chief Medical Officer, Dr. Winston Delahaye, says the donation is another example of how public-private partnerships can be successful for the entire island.
Innovative ways to improve healthcare efficiency and delivery through these public-private partnerships. Through engagement with charities and faith-based organizations, the Ministry of Health has benefited significantly. In fact, on average, there are close to 200 medical missions to Jamaica each year, serving all 14 parishes.
Deputy Chairman of the Southeast Regional Health Authority, Sarah, Dr. Norman Dunn, says the work of the foundation is also beneficial to his organization.
There's no way that we could carry out the mission of caring for Jamaica, and in particular persons in the Southeast Regional Health Authority region, the way that we could.
Meanwhile, founder and chairman of the foundation, Shaggy, commended the hospital for maintaining world-class service despite the constraints.
In the US, probably treat somewhere in the neighborhood of about 60 patients on a daily basis. On an average, sometime in a Bustaman, them I brush about 200. In a chicken gun at time, I brush almost 400. And this is a facility that was not designed for that.
This is the first of two handovers, with the second one set for September this year. Tayshawn Brown, Machida McIntyre, Giovanna Hermit and Kimberly Watson have emerged the top 4 high achievers from the Balmaji Primary School in St. Andrew and were selected as recipients of the 2017 San Marina Foundation Scholarship Fund Award. All 4 students achieved high grades in the recent Grade 6 Achievement Test. They will benefit from the scholarship totaling $1 million. The top 2 students with an average of 90 and above will receive $300,000 each. The other 2 averaging below 90 will receive $200,000 each. San Marina Paper Products, manufacturers of the Classique and Sophie brands of paper rolls, committed $1 million for the scholarship this year, which will be dispersed in different tranches. In international news, President of the United States, Donald Trump, is reportedly defending Donald Trump Jr.'s meeting with a Russian lawyer, saying that many people would have held that meeting. We go to the CNN for more.
June 3rd, an intriguing email arrives for Donald Trump Jr. from a music promoter for a Russian Azeri pop star, offering information that would incriminate Hillary and her dealings with Russia and would be very useful to your father, claiming to be part of a Russian government effort to help Trump win. I love it, the candidate's son responds. June 7th, a meeting is set to discuss the matter with Russian lawyer Natalia Veselnitskaya. 4 hours later, a big announcement.
I am going to give a major speech on probably Monday of next week, and we're going to be discussing all of the things that have taken place with the Clintons. I think you're going to find it very informative and very, very interesting.
2 days later, June 9th, at Trump Tower, Donald Jr., Trump's son-in-law Jared Kushner, and campaign official Paul Manafort have their meeting with Veselnitskaya for the promised dirt on Clinton. But Donald Jr. now says it was a waste of time. His father, who is also at Trump Tower that afternoon, needles Clinton with a tweet that same day. Where are your 33,000 emails that you deleted? June 15th, a cybersecurity firm announces a major hack of Democratic National Committee computers and blames the Russians. A week later, Trump finally rolls out that major speech he promises, once again talking about Clinton's emails, but offering no new information.
Well, we may not know what's in those deleted emails. Our enemies probably know every single one of them.
And in sports, Jamaica's Reggae Boys will be hoping for another good result when they face CONCACAF Kingpins Mexico tonight in the CONCACAF Gold Cup in Colorado in the United States. Karen Madden has the preview.
It's a top-of-the-table clash as both teams lead Group C on 3 points each. Mexico are coming off a 3-1 victory over El Salvador, while Jamaica defeated Caribbean Cup champions Curaçao 2-0. One of the players that will be expected to be integral to Jamaica performing well against the Mexicans is Javon Watson. The 33-year-old New England Revolution player will have his hands full against the wily Mexicans.
It's a more disciplined bunch of players than usually, because we know we're coming up against a good Mexico team, which is we know they play quick, they're good on everything, they're good on set piece, they're good at off the ball movements and everything. So we had a practice yesterday with the coach, and the coach outlined what he wants the players and their responsibility. So we just have to go out there discipline and try to keep them off the score sheet and try to get a goal, and we win the game.
Head coach Theodore Tapper Whitmore was happy with the team's first outing, but with that firmly in the rearview mirror, he's now focused on Thursday's game.
I think the most important thing for the Mexico game would be performance. We want everybody to perform at a maximum level. I'm not too concerned about result, because with a good performance, then I think that would carry us into a good result.
Coach Whitmore could also make changes to the starting 11 to counter Mexico's expected attacks on the flanks.
On the flip side of that, we want to play our normal game. We want to improve from the last performance in terms of our transition and possession of the football going forward, and play the ball a bit more quicker.
Jamaica has only beaten Mexico 3 times since the two started facing each other in 1962. The Reggae Boys lost 3-0 against Mexico in the 2015 Gold Cup final and also lost to them 2-0 in the Copa America tournament. The last time Jamaica beat Mexico was a 1-0 home win in the 2008 World Cup qualifiers. Karen Madden, TVJ Sports.
And that's Midday News. I'm Milton Walker. Join us at 7 for Primetime News on behalf of the news, sports and production teams. Good afternoon.